and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. We love a Sunday special, right?
Yes, we love a Sunday special. I'm excited to be back. I feel like last episode, the Wednesday episode, you didn't tell us any Europe stuff,
travels.
It was great. Give us the one best thing about that happened in Europe.
I had a blast. The shows, awesome. The shows were great. It was great to meet our international fan base.
Oh yeah, I feel like London had to be like ready to go.
London, there's a crew. There are people. The Brits are. They want a U Up Live. They were asking for it.
Wow. Well, if you want us to come back, Jared to come back, if you want to hear a U Up Live, tell your friends about the show. If you don't live in America, I mean, even if you do live in the United States, tell a friend.
You got friends with dating issues and problems and brunch table fodder. This is where they come.
Yeah.
And we have an audience. I mean, all of it was crazy. Just to be a citizen of the world, so to speak.
Yes, an international man of mystery.
That's right. That didn't hook up once. Okay. I thought, and I'm going to talk about this on our benefits episode, I think.
Okay, so we'll save it. If you want to hear about Jared's hookup
my dry streak.
Yes.
My dry spell.
Okay.
A makeout.
Okay, you had a makeout. You got something.
It was a makeout.
Yeah.
But really,
some people would call that a hookup.
Not me.
Some middle schoolers would call that a hookup.
Yeah. Middle school me would be like, yeah, high five, crushed it.
Yeah.
Did you use a condom? No, I would say basically I'm in Oslo. It's the last show of the tour, and I had a blast in Oslo. The show was great. And then I stayed at this nice hotel. Oh, I want to give a shout out. Over the Moon Vacations.
Yes, she did my honeymoon. She planned your Europe trip.
My Europe trip. Just easy to work with. And I would say that their specialty is the hotels.
Yeah, they're really good at the hotels.
Especially if you're going to go to Europe. You want to stay at I think the places they put me, I was so happy. They were interesting, boutique-y. Seek the boutique is my motto for going on a European vacation.
I agree with that because I think sometimes when you go to like a chain type restaurant, type place, even if it's like a really nice part of like whatever the Marriott portfolio is or whatever, it still doesn't feel like you're really getting a taste for like the city that you're in.
No, and I would say in America you can find these, but they're harder to find because of the portfolio of big time hotels that you talk about. But there's these like family owned things, that have been around for a long time, and it's just very fine. A lot of the service,
details.
The details, beautiful.
The details.
As they say out in Europe. So Over the Moon Vacations, go check them out. They were fantastic. I gave them my tour and I was like, set it up. So I'm staying in this really nice hotel in Copenhagen. I think it's called the Continental. And, I did the first night show, and then the second day I kind of had free, and then I was leaving. 9 a.m. I'm getting off the elevator. Also, shout out to Base. I don't know if they're sponsoring this episode or not.
They're definitely doing a bunch of spots throughout time.
I had my Base Weekender and the Base rolling bag.
That Base rolling bag is great. I've used it for every trip I have now.
In tandem. It was like the tag team. It was great. And I checked it, didn't check it.
You can do whatever you want with it.
Whatever you want. Have your way with it. So I had a lot of stuff. It's a 3-week adventure I was on.
Yeah.
So I'm coming out of the elevator and I bump into this woman. And she goes one way, I go towards the checkout desk, and she kind of like went on her way, and then I go to the checkout desk, and then I hear Jared, and I turn, and the woman who we almost ran over each other, she goes, I listen to the pods.
Love that.
And I was like,
in
what?
Oslo?
In Oslo.
Or in Copenhagen?
Oslo, Norway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I go, she was like, she wasn't at the show. She's like, what are you doing here?
Probably the last person she expected to walk through the door. Yeah.
And then she offered me cocaine.
As everyone who greets you now must do. Do not approach Jared in public unless you have a dime bag of cocaine.
Have it ready. Little straw. No, but it was such a moment of like, the world is big, it is small. You do feel far from home.
But also comfy.
Right. And it's like, it's just very cool and heartwarming to meet people who have been helped by this podcast and
yeah, it's incredible.
And that know us in Oslo. You're like, what?
No, it's very surreal. I think it's very, very cool.
Very cool. And the shows were great. And, as a stand-up, it's just like, people are like, is the material work? It all fucking works, baby. Okay? It works anywhere.
Don't you worry.
Don't you fucking worry. Bring your friends. This works everywhere. The theme of relationships and family and all those things that, we all find funny are funny no matter where you go.
Universally relatable.
I like to think so. Let's get anything else. How are you? How's
I'm good.
Suburban life?
Suburban life is great. I'll have a big update on our benefits episode.
Yes.
Might be out already. It's be out tomorrow.
Okay.
You'll get to hear all about that. We're both saving our good stuff for the benefits.
Right. Pay up, bitches.
Yeah. But for now, let's get into also, if you haven't gotten your tickets for the Philadelphia show, which is in like 11 days.
Philadelphia, come on. Time to buy the tickets. It's enough already. But we get excited when the show is like popping. We want to know that people are going, and I think when you start, if you're like planning on coming, get the tickets now. Then let the group chat know, hey, we're going to this fun show.
It's a Thursday in June. It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be a blast. You're not at the shore yet. You're not heading down to the Margate yet. You're not going down to Sea Isle City yet. It's over. You're not going to Atlantic City. You're not going to wherever the fuck you go. It's time to see a show. We're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna be chugging faux pas on stage. It'll be a blast.
It's going to be amazing. And listen, we were debating between Philly and Atlantic City, and we wound up going to Philly. So don't make us regret this. Get those fucking tickets.
Get those tickies. Okay. You, betches.co/youuplive. Let's go to the email.
Let's go to the email where the subject is Jared's 10-monther becoming my reality?
So I guess to explain this, if anyone's a new listener, I am famously known for dating for 10 months and then like drifting into the fog.
Ari, have you done that many times?
I've done it many times, not so much recently.
Okay, yeah, you definitely don't do that anymore.
Not anymore. I've been better about it now.
But I remember because when we started this podcast, I was like 4 months into dating Mike, and you were like, 10 months is when they really decide. I'm like, okay, shit.
I do believe 10 months is like a moment where you go, oh shit. Like
you need a 2-month buffer before the 1-year anniversary.
Right. You can't do you can't do an anniversary.
We can't get too close to 1 year.
Right.
That's fair.
Beware of birthdays, anniversaries, trips, global pandemics.
Fertilizing your eggs.
Fertilizing your eggs, as our friend from Vanderpump knows.
Yes.
Yeah, these are all things that, I think, and this is kind of the theme of this email, is you have to understand that we're not talking about these things. This might be the first time the guy you're with has been presented with these things.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of this.
And listen, I'm going to reiterate, anyone is allowed to leave for any reason at any time.
Right. But I do think, I remember we went on a bachelor party once. It was my buddies and I, and it was my buddy Thunder Dan. And
Thunder Dan?
Thunder Dan. So okay. Thunder had a bachelor party in Austin. We all go down to Austin. We get a boat on Lake Travis.
As you do.
As you do. The boat we got from like Craigslist, whatever it was. It was not really, it wasn't like Big Papa's boat company. It was like very much rando with a boat.
Okay.
And we paid a flat fee. And I think when you're rando with a boat with a flat fee, your whole game.
Get as many people on the boat or no?
Leave the dock as little as possible.
Oh, okay.
Because gas is a fluctuating cost.
Right.
If you use the less gas you use, the more you make on this trip, is my assumption.
What does that have to do with how many people are coming?
The people don't matter.
Okay.
So if it's $5,000, you're getting a fixed rate.
I see. Okay.
So we cheaped out. We get this fixed rate. We're living on the boat. The boat smelled like shit. And we got partied on this boat. And the first day we get to this boat, it's kind of rainy. And he's like hooked up to the dock. And we just partied on the dock. And we're having a fun time. But there was a point where you're like, why haven't we gone into the lake yet? Like we were just attached. We were a buoy. We were just sitting there. And I was like, what's going on? And I remember the boat captain, every time we'd go, are we going to like go out into the lake? He'd be like, oh, you guys want to go in the lake? You guys want to like go out to sea? He would act like
he thought it was just like a room next to the water that you were renting. Okay.
He couldn't imagine. Oh, I forgot. What? We're like, what? You're the boat captain.
What is he even doing there?
Right.
Yeah.
And every time. Oh, and so then it became a running joke. I couldn't stop making fun of this guy.
Okay.
Every time I'd be like, you want to breathe oxygen? Like I kept saying that in front of him because I was like, this is bullshit. Right. He's keeping us on the dock to not wait. You know, he doesn't want to invest more.
Okay.
Same with, this is how guys do relationships. Oh, you want to like move on with life? Oh, you want to like get engaged?
Well, that's not how you run a business, as we're about to.
Right.
It's not how you run a business. All right. I'm going to read it.
Go for it.
Dear Jared and Jordana.
It actually says dead Jared and Jordana.
Dead Jared and Jordana.
Have I died? Am I here?
Dead. Have listened to every regular in Benny's episode ever. Realized and love everything you... I've listened to every regular in Benny's episode ever. Realized and love everything you do. I don't feel like it.
I think this person
like
has
drunk.
a typing issue.
Have you... now we know why it's 10 months. Right. Thank you for making me laugh every week. I, 25, and my boyfriend, 29, have been together for about 9 months. We met at a work party where I apparently asked him to do a shot with me, then proceeded to LinkedIn DM him later that night. Interesting. Good sense of boundaries.
Right.
Things are great between us. I am historically anxious about attachment and he is secure. I've been going to therapy since we started dating, so I won't resort back to my petty ways. We have so much fun together, have great conversations, and he is so good to me. I definitely see us with a future ahead and told him a few months ago I loved him, which left him actually speechless. That's
good and bad.
It's weird because she keeps saying things are going incredibly, but then she keeps in the same sentences or saying things that seem a little alarming to me.
If you're writing to us, things are not going great.
Well, here's the thing. I told him I loved him a few months ago, which left him speechless. But a few months ago, let's say it's 3 months ago. They've been dating for 9 months.
Okay.
So 6 months in, if the person you're dating says they love you and you're left speechless, I find that to be a weird sign.
It is funny to me that she didn't say, he didn't say I love you. Speechless is like kind of a lipstick on a pig, so to speak. It's like, and he was speechless. And you're like, oh, like that is, you don't say speechless in a negative way.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a little bit of marketing going on here. This is like the same story she told her mom. And
this
he was speechless. Yeah, it's spin.
Yeah, this is a weird spin. Most of his friends are married and engaged, and I am his first longer girlfriend. He definitely doesn't express his feelings as much as I do, but based on actions, taking my car to the mechanic when I'm in meetings, bringing me lunch, giving me work advice, these sound like normal everyday things.
Right.
Inviting me on family trips, cooking for me, etc. I know how much he cares.
Hold on. Let me go. Okay, we'll keep going.
You want to go through the things that he does?
Well, I can go through the things that he does, and I can tell you how little they matter.
Okay, taking my car to the mechanic when I'm in meetings.
Doesn't mean shit. That to me does not say I'm ready for the next step. Okay, that's right.
Good friend.
Good, yeah.
Bringing me lunch.
So does DoorDash.
Giving me work advice. What is he supposed to say if she's complaining about work?
Guess that's your problem. Right, yeah, what's he supposed to say?
Inviting me on family trips? Okay.
I mean, we've said on this podcast many times, the social structure, whether fair or not fair, it is what it is, for men is not the same.
Inviting someone on a trip with your family, I would personally take that as a move of commitment of some sort.
I think it means he likes her, but it doesn't mean that he is afraid of the family going, what happened to so-and-so?
Fair.
Is my point, and something that maybe, I understand. Anyone who would say he brought me on trips, I get why they say it. I am here to tell you.
Doesn't mean anything.
Pump on the brakes.
Nothing means anything.
Right.
Bothered my children.
Well,
just because he agrees to be the dad of the kids and get engaged and get
different.
married does not mean that he's interested in you at all.
Easy there, big fella. Whoa.
There's a very funny thing. I think my brother's. I'll show it to you after. It's very funny.
we
I'm
want
sorry.
the listeners to know.
I'll find the thing. Well, I'll tell them where. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see it.
We'll share it on the Instagram. It's like a very much in that exact vein.
The last one on here while you look is cooking for me. Okay, I don't think that's.
Yeah, I think that one's
emblematic of whether he feel. Here's the thing: when you brought up you joke about the kids, those keep you stuck. You know, I think to a lot of women, bringing a guy on a family trip, you are stuck with your family going, "What happened to Johnny?" And that is a stuck for you, but not as much for me.
That's true.
So I'm saying, as far as the sticky, the glue. None of these are gluish to
None
me.
of them are gluey. Oh, well, it's funny. Well, so this is from my brother DM'd this to me, and it's actually a post from Matchmaker Maria, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, a fop.
And she did post Q&As, 5 months exclusive, met family and friends, good sign. And then Matchmaker Maria wrote, but is he your boyfriend? And then her next slide is a video, which was a very funny video. I'll show it to you now.
I don't think we should be hanging out with each other's friends. It makes this seem a little more serious than it is, right? So I could be out of here at any moment.
We've been seeing each other for 6 months. Are you my boyfriend?
But let's play it by ear and whatnot. Yeah, so it's like hella life-changing that we made a human or whatever, but...
Uh-huh. I'll be home at 5.
I'm just a little wolf, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, you got the picture.
I get it. I think there's an Amy Schumer sketch that she kind of did of the other side of it.
Yeah.
Where, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering, where she doesn't say who they are. And she's like on their deathbed.
She's the person.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There was another side, giving the other side of it maybe. I don't want to say that this was, no, but
Do you like me?
Right. But the idea of like, what are we? And not admitting to it. Yeah, right. It's not a bit, you know, he's handed the baby.
The other day, she writes, the other day I had a quarter life crisis meltdown to which he was very supportive and comforting during. The most emotionally helpful I've seen him. That weekend, we were out with one of my gay best friends, and my friend kept drunkenly referencing our wedding. I think the compilation, quote unquote, our wedding. I think the compilation of these events made my boyfriend actually think for once about what our relationship means to him and where it's going.
Oh, you want to get married one day? See? Yeah.
We finally had a real deep conversation about things where he expressed he loves spending time with me and cares deeply, but not love, I guess. Okay, so he didn't say I love you back.
Not as speechless anymore.
Cares deeply about me and wants us to continue dating so we can ensure emotional compatibility. He thinks he's not emotionally giving enough and that I deserve that, and also is afraid I'm more certain of the relationship than he is. I have dated a fair amount, and I'm always processing things with my therapist, friends, and family, so I'm more certain of what I want generally. Would love your take on this. We are great together, and I've agreed to be more openly communicative about this going forward, but I'm worried I'm going to be dropped at any second. Thank you. Don't tell HR.
Because they're dating at work.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. She writes a couple things that I just want to point out. Mm-hmm. We've already pointed out a bunch of things.
Can I just say one really quickly is that anytime someone is having a conversation with you and talking about what you deserve, it's over.
Sign. Yeah.
Because someone who's planning on being with you is not talking about all the things that you deserve, because they would be the ones who would have to do all those things.
Right.
So if you're ever hearing anyone that you're dating say stuff about all the things that you deserve, to me, that's the writing on the wall.
You got to pump up the raft before you push it out to sea. Right? You got to let it know how great and wonderful they are.
Yeah.
Before saying for someone else.
That's funny. I haven't heard that one before. Pump up the raft.
You got to get pump. It's not a good sign. Yeah. It's not a good sign. You deserve a lot.
Things. Yeah.
You deserve something like that. Yeah. You do deserve that from someone
else.
Someone should give that to you. Ain't gonna be me.
It's like that Bob Dylan song.
What's that?
It ain't me.
It ain't me.
Me, babe. It ain't me, babe.
It ain't me. I think another part of this is she says, I'm worried I'm going to be dropped in any second. Like,
I think that's a rational fear.
I think it's a rational fear, but it's also like,
I think she's going to be dropped at any moment, to be totally honest.
I know. I'm trying to speak to her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship where I'm like, am I going to be dropped at any second? Like, I don't know. Like, you've stated what you are and what you want. The problem is he's giving her what she wants.
He doesn't want to cut her head off, as we say.
Right, but he's giving her everything she wants. When she writes all these things, she's going, everything's great. Like, took my car, like all the, but she's.
He loves spending time with me and cares deeply, but not love.
Right. I guess my problem is, I was like,
and wants us to. The problem is that he says he wants us to continue dating so we can ensure emotional compatibility.
Not very sexy. Not the most romantic.
I think it's a little.
I knew she was the one once I ensured compatibility.
I think he's kicking the can down the road so he doesn't have to deal with this right now.
Right. Like, what will change? That's the thing that you have to wonder. In what day does he go, emotional compatibility achieved? I feel for her because the other thing I want to bring up is, like, she's like, I've dated a fair amount, always processing things with my therapist, friends, and family. So I'm certain of what I want generally. And it's like, he has not done that.
Yes, clearly.
He has clearly not done that. And it is not something we do. Like, there's not this open conversation every time I get with my friends of like, so are you, what do you think? Is he giving you, is she giving you every one thing you need? Is she, you do kind of at a certain point, so you guys are like heading towards it. Like, that's more of the
that's
conversation.
As much as you're going to get.
Right. So I do understand the thought of like, well, he's not as versed in this as I am.
That's fair. Right.
But I don't know. I think I'm with you where it's like, I don't know. The mirage of this is, she goes, I mean, when she lists out earlier in this where she says, bringing me to meetings, bringing me lunch, work advice. She's like, that's her saying, I'm getting everything I want. Finally.
Right.
So it's like, there's nothing here that's wrong other than he's like.
Not certain how long he wants to be with her.
And saying outright, like, I don't. Right.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, she could keep, here's the thing. It really depends on her. I know, because it's hard to, it's almost harder when it's like your decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she wants, like, sounds like she's having a good time, she could keep dating the person. She's 25 years old. If he wastes 3 months more of her time, like, it's not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. It's not wasting. If she's having fun, it's not a waste of her time, right? When she gets to the point where she's like, I want to know that the person I'm with takes this more seriously, sees this going somewhere, or else I would like to find someone who is, then she can do that. Like, she doesn't, unless she wants that right now, and that she might, and I think there's nothing wrong with that, but there's also nothing wrong with saying, like, I'm having a good time. If he decides in a few months that he doesn't want to be with me, then that's also fine. Like, then with her staying in it. I think it's more if she doesn't, if the possibility of being with someone for a longer period of time than this, and it ending with him saying, yeah, I've thought about it, I actually don't really feel like I can get there. Like, if she can imagine that situation 3-6 months, a year down the line, and how she might feel about that, and it's not that bad, then let it go.
Here's my feedback to that. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I'm trying to think of like what I would respond to.
If you were him.
If I were him. I would have said the same thing as him.
Which is like kind of nothing.
Kind of nothing. Right. And this is a lot of this, like, if I was to give the tools to the women looking to get answers to their questions, my biggest advice is to stop sitting in this hypothetical world. Because right now, this is, like, I'm trying to think of, like, how would 9 months in, do I want marriage and kids? Of course. I got to see if we're emotionally compatible. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's so far off. I think if you really wanted answers, what's the next thing you want? Like,
right. Do you want to move in together?
Move in, or maybe it's just a trip.
Sure.
Like, because
what do you want that you're not getting?
Men are fixers. But
I can also see wanting assurance that you take this relationship seriously.
Well, it comes with that in mind. Moving in,
right,
is a version of seriously. So, like, moving in would be a better one than a trip.
Right.
But if you said, let's take it down to a trip. You're 6 months in. You really like this person. You guys are boyfriend and girlfriend. You've said, I love you. You've got nothing back. They're speechless.
Yeah. How about an I love you?
Yeah, I love you is a very physical, tangible thing.
Yeah, some people would break up with someone after 9 months if they didn't say I love you, and it wouldn't be that crazy.
Not crazy at all. And I think to question them on it. So, have you said I love you to anyone before? Like, I think you got to stay in the tangible.
Right.
She is, and the tangible she's using that we've already refuted, are things that an assistant could do for you.
Right.
If DoorDash can do it, it's not important.
Well, here's the other thing. It's like some people most people take those things to mean they're about them. And some people, like you said, like some people would take you, if they were dating you introducing them to your friends as a big thing, right? But to you, you do that with everyone. So it's not a big thing. So it's not like, why would he do this? It's like, why does he do that? Why does he do that? Why does he do this to me versus why does he do that? Something to do with her. Like he might just be a guy who is like helpful, who anyone that he's with he's gonna take their car to the mechanic. He's gonna cook for them because that's just kind of like what he does. It does nothing to do with you or not you.
We talk a lot about the reveal. A certain reveal would go, when you brought my car to the mechanic, you don't understand how much that means to me. That is like something that like
my husband will do.
Right. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say to someone.
Not.
To let them know what things mean to you. That's a reveal.
Or what things that they're not doing mean to you. When I said I love you and you didn't say it back, it made me think you're not really necessarily particularly committed to this relationship.
Right. What makes you? Yeah. What does love mean to you?
Yeah, that's a good one.
What does love mean to you? What do you mean to you? You know, it feels like a song.
What's love got to do?
What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. What's love? But a second-hand emotion.
What's that, Tina Turner?
Is that what you say?
Tina Turner. Yes. Great song. Oh my God. What? Is this awkward?
Come on, really? An hour ago? Yeah.
That's really weird that we just happened to sing this song. Like while we were recording?
Am I dead, Jared?
Are you a medium?
What's going on? That's crazy. I don't mean to be, again,
really
we're not
weird.
Trying to be mean.
No, we didn't know that. I didn't know that happened.
What's that? It was just like a shock moment. That's shocking.
That's very random. I definitely did not know that.
Oh, love got to?
Oh, that's so upsetting. She was so talented.
How old? 83.
Oh, okay. I mean, for some reason I thought she was younger than that.
Right.
That's sad.
I see her a certain way.
Sad still, but she had a good life. Yeah.
She lived a long life. Jordana's going to be speaking at Tina Turner's funeral.
I mean, well,
weird. This is weird.
No, that is very weirdly coincidental because it's not like we've ever mentioned Tina Turner at all during this podcast ever.
Ever.
In 5 years.
I am speechless. Just like this guy who couldn't say I love you.
And this episode is dedicated to Tina Turner.
That's right.
I don't know if she
Play
wants
it on the YouTube.
Yes.
With that, like, with the name and the years, memoriam. Put it on the YouTube. Yeah, I just think she needs to get more. This person needs to get more tangible and ASCII.
Yes.
And
get in there.
You got to like kind of try and scare them away.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like if you make it through those conversations, your relationship's going to be a lot better.
Right, you're
skirting around them.
You're negotiating.
The best way out is through. That's one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever gotten. Is the best way out. Most people think the best way out is like around. The best way, fastest way, most growthful way out is through the issue.
That's right. I think we helped her.
I think we did too.
I think we helped Tina Turner. No, we didn't help Tina.
We didn't help her at all.
Good luck to the Turner family. We wish you the best.
I even saw that movie. What was the movie called? Which was about her life. It's called What's Love Got to Do with It?
Anybody?
I don't know. Yeah. It was a good movie.
As Time Turns, the Tina Turner story. Simply the Best.
There's a movie that was about.
There's many movies.
Lots of movies. I know it is What's Love Got to Do.
Oh, it is called What's Love Got to Do. Good movie.
Good movie.
Anyway,
we'll be back on Wednesday.
Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales-Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.